Welcome to warm-up day 70. Can't believe it. Let's start on the floor. Too much shock. I can't stand up. Just have to start on the floor. So let's start in a very curled up, private place with our knees close to our belly in a semi-fetal position. If you were like me, you were in this position under your covers about 5 minutes ago. I think I see Anne who has joined. If so, welcome. It's a little far away. I think that's the name I can see. So we'll begin on our sides, one side of our bodies, in a semi-fetal position, and allow yourself to imagine that you're back in bed, back under the covers. Maybe you never sleep this way on your side, but imagine you are for the moment. And instead of perhaps you're on a hard floor like I am. This carpet is misleading. It's still a very hard floor. Instead of that hard floor, you are relaxing in a soft, springy bed. The mattress is supporting you. And your body is just giving in to the softness of your Tempur-Pedic memory foam bed. Maybe you imagine you have the covers over you. It feels incredibly relaxatory. And you might get a sense of what that word means, but in some ways it might be nonsense. But today might be, because it's our 70th, might take us into some nonsense. But what you can sense is your body completely relaxed. And then from somewhere inside of you, somewhere in your lower body, maybe your belly, somewhere in your gut, or your heart center perhaps, maybe a little higher up, somewhere you have suddenly an urge to yawn and stretch your body, which is going to take your body, staying on your side, it's going to take your feet behind you and your arms up above you until you yawn, and stretch, and sound may come out, breath may come out, and then when that impulse is over, you just immediately, you spring back to that curled up position. And then at some point again, you're not going to make the shape of a yawn and a stretch. You're going to actually do it because you have an impulse to do so that begins inside of you, somewhere in your lower torso perhaps, in your belly. And you're going to yawn and stretch your body. And whenever that impulse is over, you spring back, and you can make that sound if you want. You can make the sounds, you don't have to make the sounds. And then as lazily as you can, you're going to find your way to the other side. So you'll be on your back for a moment, your knees come over your belly, and maybe to help propel you over there, you'll flutter through your lips. And I'm just going to turn my body so that I'm facing my microphone, but you don't have to turn your body. So again, you find yourself in this very internal, bed-like, fetal-like place. And your sense drops into your belly, into your lower guts. And you have an impulse from there to yawn, and stretch, staying on your side, to yawn and stretch. And maybe some sound gets released. And whenever you feel that impulse is over, you just spring back to that semi-fetal. So you're not going into what we often call a banana stretch just because that's what it is. You're finding or feeding in an impulse in your lower belly, somewhere in your gut brain. The impulse arrives that will take you into a stretch and a yawn through your body on your side. And as soon as that impulse is over, you spring back to that semi-fetal. And then as lazily as you can, come onto your back. With your knees up or your legs extended, doesn't matter, whatever you like. And feel the support of your imagined bed underneath you, that springlicious support, that temperific caress. And you bring your attention back to your lower belly. You can even bring your hand or hands to your belly and begin to bring even more of your awareness to your gut brain. So you could, if you wanted to, begin to massage your belly, being aware of all of those organs that you're moving around. Your liver, which is rich with blood, your stomach, which may or may not have any food immediately deposited into it, so you may be also moving around your breakfast or your lunch. You're moving around your intestines, the large intestine, the small intestine, the many, many feet of intestines. You are moving around underneath some of those organs, your gallbladder, Do you have the gall to really, really get into your belly today? Are you pigeon-livered and lack gall? Can you stomach all of this? Is this bringing butterflies to your stomach? Could you even think down to the kidneys, which are really at your back? The kidneys maybe are still in that Tempur-pedic rest in your back. And then let your hands circle around this treasure trove of gut, brain, gut center, gut soul. And then eventually let your hands come to rest on your gut soul. Feel your breath as your voice naturally begins to change. Feel your breath dropping into your belly. Picture how your diaphragm actually moves your gut brains. They give way for the thought. They give way for the breath. And then as if your gut soul, your gut brains could speak. Ha. Ha. And you allow the resonation, the vibratory expression of your gut soul to be expressed from that treasure trove in your middle. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. How easy could that be? Ha ha. Ha ha. Maybe as you go deeper in thought and in pitch, perhaps the sensation of the origins of those vibrations actually come from deeper in you. Maybe they move from the more superficial of this, the liver, which is not entirely superficial, and the stomach, to deeper inside of you, maybe down to the intestines and the kidneys. Ha ha. Ha ha. And now the whole treasure-rific trove of your gut soul is going to speak as if it could yearnify into the world. And if they're not already, let your legs extend. You might feel some delicious relief with your legs now extended. And allow your source of your voice emanating from your gut brain, the soul in your middle, to now drain and pour and reverberate down through your legs. And now, again, with an engine-like flutter through your lips, the vibrations that begin in the soul of your middle will flutter from your belly to your lips as you float one knee up and over your belly. And then another flutter, you'll float the other knee up over your belly. And then lazily bring your hands on your knees. So your right hand on your right knee and your left hand on your left knee. And you can choose what you want to do here. Maybe you want to circle your knees around in opposition to one another. Maybe you want to shake your knees in and away from your belly, either one at a time or both. It's up to you. I'm experiencing a great deal of disturbance in my sciatica this morning, so I'm going to be incredibly ginger with this. But you feel free to go as deeply, as quickly, as slowly as you want. And with the sense of vibrations as deep as your hip sockets, fluttering through your lips and disturbing your hip sockets a bit in any way that you want. And that disturbance is entirely in your control, so that it doesn't cause panic in that disturbance, but that it's a disturbance that actually shakes some things up, stirs some things into your consciousness, into your voice. Can you flubberfy your lips? And now, clasping your hands behind one of your knees, you can just let the other foot drop to the floor for a moment and extend that leg up to the sky. And as if the vibrations of your voice could begin down deep in your belly, travel up through that leg and out through that foot. And just drop that heel to your thigh. Exchange knees. Float your other knee up. Clasp around the back of your knee if that's comfortable. And then extend the leg up, fluttering, flubberfying your lips. Keep that leg over your knee, over your belly. Bring the other knee up. Bring your hands on the inner crooks of your knees now. Yawn through your legs as you extend them out. And then sigh out and stretch and relax your tongue. and let your heels drop to your thighs. And I am pointing and flexing my feet as I stretch and relax my tongue. And I encourage you to try the same, or you could circle your feet at the ends of your ankles if you want, as if your feet were second tongues. Your organs are getting rearranged now, and the muscles and the organs get rearranged a bit. So you've got second tongues in your feet that you're stretching as well. Yawning in. And then let the feet drop. And again. Dropping the feet. Let the feet drop. Always with the sense of your vibrations emanating from the gut, from the soul in your middle. Let the heels drop. Bring your hands back on top of your knees. Loosely shake your knees in and away from your belly as you loosen the middle of your tongue. Let your feet drop flat to the floor again. Ooh. Be aware that this is the 70th warm-up, which means you are 70 days older, which means the sciatica in your left hip is completely justified because I'm 70. All right, let that little falderall go. Let that little thing go. Bring your hands now onto your heart center and begin to warm that heart center up with your hands. Picturing, feeling first, probably the skin, and then underneath that, your rib cage, the sternum in the middle, the breastbone. Feeling the collarbone at the top, which connects the ribs to the shoulder girdle. And then coming down and feeling the top of the first rib, coming down to the second rib, down to the third. You might have certain mounds that make it more or less easy to feel those ribs, but nevertheless, they're there, down to the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, and then you'll begin to feel where those ribs end, and they start to curve down. That costal arch curves downward. You can feel down to where you find your floating ribs on the sides. And then they go up into your back up into the backbone, into the vertebra of your spine. And then just come back and lay your hands on your ribs and picture underneath those ribs are your lungs, which are inevitably inflating from the air around you that you're taking in. And then if you'll lay your hands across your heart, just more to the left side of your body, picturing your heart. And you feel your heartbeat. Can you feel this life-giving organ beating? the blood coming in and out of the heart. Noticing perhaps how you feel in your heart today. Are you heart full? Are you heartbroken? Are you hearty? Hearty? Are you heartless? Do you have? Are you heart weary? Do you wear your heart on your sleeve? Are you hard-hearted? A heart of stone? Are you soft-hearted? Are you open-hearted? And we could go on and on and on from there. But your heart is its own soul. In the perhaps Elizabethan sense, the tripartite, Mary Conway. Which one is it? Does it even matter? Sense of the soul. There is a soul which is your heart. And now allowing your heart soul to speak with whatever that heart soul is feeling, with that heartiness, heart broken, heart lorn, heartache, heartfelt, whatever that might be. Let it speak with a deep down sigh. Ah. And you know, I shouldn't be as prescriptive as to say it has to be a deep sigh, because if your heart is stone, it may not want to speak with that big sigh. It may want to speak with only a ha-ha or something. So you find whatever that thought is for you. But let your heart soul now speak. And as if the vibrations of that heart soul could come to your lips now on a hum. From the soul in your heart to your lips and then out into the world. And then with loving fist, you're going to thumperate through your heart center. You're going to bouncelate now. Bouncelate and thumpulate your wrists, your fists. And then you're going to lazily float your knees up and over your belly. Your arms outstretched to a T out to your sides. And let your knees fall to one side, head and neck gently drop to the other. So you're in what we could call a diagonal stretch. But as you fall into the diagonal stretch, be aware of the amazing treasure trove of the soul of your belly and the soul in your heart center. And with the thought, letting your vibrations come into the hip socket nearest the ground, so it becomes inactivated from the hip socket of the ground, from the belly soul, the heart soul, out to your lips and out to the world. And then yawning in through a wide animal roar. Stretching, relaxing your tongue twice. And with the laziest of tongue loosenings, float your knees up and over to the other side. Allowing that thought now to turn to a whispered ka that you breathe in down to your belly soul, to your hip socket soul perhaps. Those vibrations on a high come through your heart soul. They find an expression which is genuine, which is present, which is you in this moment, and then you sigh out on a high and stretch and relax your tongue twice. And with yes. You bring your knees up and over to a semi-fetal. Oh, yes. Oh. So you're back in that very private, very redacted semi-fetal. You're back on your Tempur-Pedic. You're letting your body melt into the ground on your side. And then lugubriously sighing. And can you let that luxuriousness begin in the soul of your belly, traveling to the soul of your heart, where it might pick up some heart. You gotta have heart, lots and lots of heart. And then it sighs through a very loose tongue. And then as softly and as Tempur-Pedically as you can, come on to your hands and knees. And then rest back onto your heels so you're in a folded leaf. You can cross your arms like a pillow for your head and let your forehead rest on your arms. I'm just going to let my head be outside my arms if you happen to look at me, just so that my voice doesn't get absorbed by my memory foam and turned into memories forever after. But you can let your forehead rest on your hands. Let your belly relax to the floor. Let your heart fall. And with the tip of the tongue anchored to the back of your bottom teeth, sigh on a he past the front of your tongue. And this he is not just connected to the vibrations in your mouth, but its source is coming from that treasure trove of your gut brain, of the soul in your belly, through the heart center, the heart field in your chest, past your tongue. He. So that he is not just a sound, but it is filled with the feeling, the eminence, the whatever it is in your center today. That's all I got. He. And now, as if you could just coax those vibrations further forward, you'll shake the tongue loose. He. Yeah. 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 And then sigh as if you could flip the vibrations forward from the front of your tongue to the tip of your tongue to your lips and then out. Yeah, la la la, ma ma ma. Vibration still beginning in your belly, through your heart center, to your tongue, to your tip of your tongue, to the lips, and then out. Yeah, la la la, ma ma ma. And then staying connected to that source in your heart, that source in your belly, and gently bringing your hands onto the floor in front of you, rocking yourself up onto all fours, onto your hands and knees. I'll just turn to the side so you can see me if you need. For a moment, just gently rock forward and back. Forward and back. You can come as far forward as you want. Stretch the front of your body, which might have felt very closed off from that folded leaf. And then eventually settle so that your palms are right underneath your shoulder blades, your knees are right underneath your hip sockets. Starting with a neutral spine, now beginning to round your spine. So your spine is listening up to your ceiling, your tailbone drops, your head drops. And then you go the other way, your spine begins to arch. As your belly desires to listen to the ground, your head and tail go up, your spine arches. And then again it rounds, so maybe a bit more quickly. Your spine and your tail and your head drop as your spine rounds. And then you just go the other way. Woo! And now as if a wind blows you from underneath you, woo! You round. And then a wind blows you from above, woo! You goes the other way. And then a wind from underneath. Whoosh! If you want to make the sound, you can make the sound until you're rounded. And then a wind from above. Woo! And again, one more time. From underneath, the wind blows you until you're rounded. Whoosh! And then from above, it blows you until you're in arched spine. Woo! And then you come back to a neutral spine. Come back and just sit on your heels for a moment. Shake your hands out. So if you're like me, that you put a bit of pressure on your palms. Then come back to all fours, letting your belly relax, let your heart be open to a neutral spine. Actually, we'll start rounded. You're going to let your tailbone release up on the he. Your lower spine drops down on the ya. Your rib spine, your thoracic spine drops down on the la, or la, as many as you need. And your head and neck will float up on the ma. So that thought of he, ya, la, ma, is now going to travel from your tailbone through your arching spine. So it'll be like this. He, ya, la, ma. You might need more la-la-las just because your spine is longer in that part of your body. Here we go, starting with the rounded spine. Elbow drops, head drops, breath drops in. And seeing if you can feel and picture those vibrations releasing out of your mouth. And then breath drops in as you round your spine again. Long neck at the end, really pushing up, out of your palms, not letting yourself sink or bend your elbows too much. And then relax back to a folded leaf again. Gently come to sit up. If you want to sit on your knees, that's fine. If you want to sit cross-legged, that's fine too. You can even come to standing if you want here, but why? Why do that at this moment? Come to a comfortable seated position or standing. Bring your hands back to your belly and remind yourself of the wealth, the treasure trove of your gut brain, of the soul in your belly. Bring your hands back to your chest and remind yourself of your heart brain, your heart soul. And now bring your hands to your head. And be aware of the thinking brain up here. Shouldn't say the actual brain because those are actual brains, the other ones. But your head and its thinking brain. And maybe you bring your fingers to it, just mess your hair up a bit, a bit of warmth and thought to your thinking brain. So this third brain, this other wealth of information, memories, senses. Come to your senses. course, senses live in other places too. And then just lay your hands on your head. Be aware that this is also a brain. And in the Elizabethan sensibility, also a soul. The soul that is most connected to what's above you, which in that sensibility is God, all the way up in heaven. We won't go too far into that imagery today, but I am very much thinking about my work with Mary Conway last weekend and da-da-da-da-da. But anyway, sighing a hum to your lips and feeling the resonance of your thinking brain. Letting your hands come all around your skull, all around the center. As if you draw those vibrations out from that center, from that brain soul center. And let that go. Be aware that you are now sitting or standing, whatever you're doing, with those three souls alive in you: your belly, your guts, your heart, and your brain, your head. Lengthen your neck up and back. And your thoughts going to drop down through your heart, down to your belly. And the resonance is going to come from that place in you, perhaps bringing with it some feeling through the resonance of your chest. Come up on your neck. Your resonance comes into your mouth, still the source coming from your gut. And now staying connected to that source, the resonance comes to your teeth. Back to your mouth. Down to your chest. And now I am feeling the urge to come to standing to finish out our warm-up. So in whatever way is easiest for you, just come to standing. But as you do that, don't lose connection. Stay connected to those three sources in you: your gut brain, your heart brain, and your head brain. Coming to standing. Take your time. And now as you stand on your floor, maybe you're standing on that Tempur-Pedic. And if you are, maybe a little bounce. Bouncing on your bed. Bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. Jumping on your bed. Bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. Okay. Enough silliness. This is serious. Take yourself seriously, Nick. All right. So standing comfortably, aware of your feet on the ground. Somewhere under the floorboards of your room or the carpet, there is a foundation of your building which rests on the earth. So you are, by proxy, standing on the earth. You're aware of that support. You feel up through your legs into the gut, soul in your middle, up through the heart center in your chest, all the way up through the head soul from heart, soul to head, soul in your head, and above you, the air, above that, the ceiling, above that, maybe more floors, at some point the top of your building, all the way up through the sky, through the stratosphere, up through the earth, up through the outer layers of the earth, into the solar system, past the planets and the sun, and all the way up, perhaps all the way to God. That thought is something you want to invite today, and if it's not, then don't think of that. And then coming back down, down, down through all of those layers of the planets, the solar system, back down to the stratosphere, down through the air, down through the ceiling of your building, down into your head, down into that head soul, down into your heart soul, through your belly soul, down through your legs, through your feet, through the floor, down to the earth, through the layers of clay and earth and rock, down to the hot, hot center of this earth. That is your connection today as a human being. That is what you exist between. Once more, lengthening your neck up and back. And with as deep as your thought might be going now, let the deepness of your thought and the connection of yourself to the earth come up through your chest resonance. Ah. Ah. Maybe your heart soul center is speaking. Maybe you feel that in your gut soul. Let your soul speak now. Ah. Ah. It's your soul's speaking. Then gently come up on your neck. Letting that connection stay present, alive, there in you. As the resonance now comes into your mouth. Ah. And without making it just sound, it stays connected to your souls, the souls of you, your gut, your heart, and yes, even your head. And the spaces in your head might be vibrating even more with this mouth resonance. Ah. 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 And then taking it even forward, even further forward now into your teeth. What bits of your souls are coming through this teeth resonance? Can you feel that? Can you be aware of that? Is it the butterflies in your stomach? Right? Is that energy coming up into your teeth? Is it the pitter-patter of your heart soul? Is it the constant thoughts that are coming, zooming in and out of you, of everything you have to do after this warm-up, coming from your head soul? Coming back to your mouth soul, being aware of whatever's coming through from your souls to your mouth resonator. Ha. Ha. And then dropping back to your chest resonator, feeling the soul speak through this. Ah. You might feel more connected to your lower souls, I don't know. Ah. It might feel gratificatious to feel this resonance through your souls. And then gently coming back up on your neck. Blending those resonators, letting all three of your souls speak, hey, 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 hey. And just sort of shake your souls up a bit. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, we're going to come to close our warm-up today. And if you want to, after this, continue this into some swings or some more heys, then please feel free. But to close our warm-up, stand comfortably, being aware of your feet on the ground, that you are still but not dead, that you are alive in yourself. And you are alive with the awareness of the life in your gut soul, the life in your heart soul, and the life in your head soul. And for yourself, from these souls, speak a few lines of text. Say, I feel, and whatever it is you feel right now. Or just stand there with that awareness. I feel multiplicitous. I feel silly. I feel nonsensical. I feel alive. I feel really full. Letting that now come to its organic conclusion. An organic conclusion. Thank you all for joining me today for another epic hour-long warm-up, because why not? I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for sharing your souls with me today. Mwah.